In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to take the door panel off on the front door on your Grand Caravan. This is like 2011 up to present, 2019 I think it is. Also the Grand Town and Country, I guess, and probably the Volkswagen Rotan around the 11s. So basically we have to take a couple of these things off. There's a screw behind here, behind the handle. There's one where you grab to close your door. And of course I pointed out near your mirror, there's a piece there too. And somewhere under here, there's a bunch of clips that are going to come out. So I'll show you here. We'll get you nice and close. It's going to be easy to do. I'll show you what tools you need to. So let's do with this piece here by the mirror. It just clips in. So actually with your hands, you could probably just pop the top off and the bottom should come out too. I'm going to use a little pry tool and be very gentle with it. Haven't had one of these off in a while, so I'm trying to figure out which way it's hooked in here. I'll show you once we get it off. Turns out it's hooked the same way as the top. It just goes straight in. So there we go. I should have just pulled this straight out. That's what the bottom hook looks like, or clip. Goes into that piece. And the top goes into this top one here. There you go. Little fingers. Easy enough. Next, we've got behind this handle. There's a little cover there we'll take off with a screwdriver, and I think you take it off from the front like that. It should just pop out. Got little fingers there. Nice and easy. There's a screw behind here with a special type of head on it. It's a Torx, and it's a T20 I'm using. I'm using actually a screwdriver. I'll put a link in the description for this kind of a screwdriver, or you may want the little sockets. They come in handy too, as these vehicles have tons of these Torx screws or Torx bolts. Very common. The screw comes out, easy enough. You want to put it somewhere where you won't lose it. That's what the end looks like. So you need the special screwdriver for sure. And focus. There you go. Anyway, you know what it looks like. Now, there should be one also where you grab the door here to pull it closed. There'll be a little cover under there. Again, you should just be able to pull that out with your fingernails. Or a little flat screwdriver. It just pops out. Again, little fingers holding it in. Nothing too hard, not hard to get out. And there's another one of these Torx screws again. Screwdriver works not too bad. Or if you had the little Torx sockets and a little extension, that could work as well. Easy enough to get out. This one could fall because this handle has a hole in the top and it has a hole through the side, right? So you can grab it actually through there. And again, just one of those Torx screws. Now, underneath here, there's just a bunch of clips that hold it in, and you can use some kind of special tool. This, I probably would put something behind it so you don't scratch the paint. This vehicle has lots of miles on it. They're not too worried about it getting scratched. I'm still going to try my best not to scratch the paint. But this door panel tool will come in handy. I'll put a link in the description as well. I use this in just about every video for something. Try and show you what these look like. So they're a two-piece. We'll show you a little bit closer a little bit later on, and they go all the way around. I'll show you how many of them there are and where they are exactly. This one has been apart before, so they came off pretty easy. Once they're out, just pull it straight up, and there'll be some wires and cables holding the door panel still there. So let's do that first, huh? So I'll take you to the top here. I'm just going to try and balance this. Maybe we'll show you this way. It's hard to say which way we should show you. Maybe we'll do it this way. You may want to give me the thumbs up while you have a chance. If you're learning something already, step by step. These things take me a little bit of time to put together. Now this, it's pretty easy to do. You can just use your fingernails if you want and press these little fingers in. Oops. So that it'll come out the hole. You pull the cable out, and you see how I've unthreaded it. That's the easiest way to do it. And you can just let that cable hang there. Now, a couple lights and things at the very bottom. This is your little entry light when you open the door. Little LED, there's a little hook there you press, little catch, and pull straight up. And that should come out pretty easy. And then we just have your switches for your power windows, your power doors, your mirrors, all that kind of stuff. So this green one with the green end, I would take off from the bottom here. There's a couple of squeeze tabs. You see it there on the inside towards the door panel itself. If you can squeeze it and then give this a good wiggle. If that doesn't work, you may want to squeeze it and get that door panel tool or a little screwdriver and just pry that out. That's going to work good. Now these you could think, well, I can do them from the bottom here too. Well, not necessarily. There's this panel right here that's going to be in the way, and you won't be able to pull them out all the way because of that, because these pieces have to come down. So easiest way now is just to go to the top of the door panel on the switch side, and you can just pull up. You might be able to do it with your fingernails. If you have strong fingernails, I would pull from the back. Here I'm going to use this tool again, just gently. You may want to use some plastic non-marring tools. That would probably be best. I'm going to probably have a lot of people complaining about that. But if you're gentle, and they should just come out. Some of them at the front there where your mirrors would be, the mirror switch, sometimes they have a little finger sticking out, so you don't want to pry on that. Then we get back to the wiring, and you'll see they have some catches that you just have to squeeze and then try and wiggle them, or you may have to squeeze it and take a little screwdriver and just try and pry it out. Depends on if it's been out before, how old it is, all sorts of things. This one, you saw that came out okay. Might be a good idea to do the big one first and then the little one. And I'm just gonna get my screwdriver. I'm gonna squeeze the tab and then just gently pry, and it's out. And there you go. The switches are out. So now the door panel should come out. It's not hanging on by anything. It's going to be gentle. Get your wires out from under there. And there we go. You can set that aside and you can fix whatever you need to fix. Now I noticed that this piece that I have in my hand here, it's should have stayed on the door. It doesn't have to be on the door panel. It'd be easier if you're going to have to put it back on the door. So I started sitting it on there, and I thought, as I was putting it on, what if this comes off for you too? Better show you how it goes on. So let's get a little closer. I'll show you how this piece goes on. Let me get my big tummy out of the way. Boy, that shirt's dirty. And it's got a hole in it. My wife's going to be so embarrassed. Anyway, where are the clips? Let's look a little closer here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's missing. No, 5, 6. There's one there, 7. And there's one there, 8. So we see some of them are, these holes here are missing the white pieces. It's a 2-piece clip. Somebody set this door panel apart before. This has got lots of miles, and it's got a couple 100,000 miles in this van. So, and there's a hole there for those screws that we took out, and one up there where your door latch is. So take this off, and we'll show, in case it does come off for you when you take the door panel off, which way it sits and how it goes back on. So you can kind of see the way it should be sitting in there. It doesn't go this way. So the best way to tell is it should have a groove facing you for the door panel to sit into. That's right there where my thumb is. It's actually only going to go in one way. It's going to sit on the panel, and it's going to have that groove there where the door panel is going to sit back on. So you need to put the door panel back on. We'll do it step by step here. You have your wires for your LED light there and a few other things. That's what I'm going to try and put on first, that little white LED. The clip faces outside, like towards the end of the door, not towards the inside, where your latch is. Only goes in one way, so clip it in that way. Of course, this will all be mirror image if it's on your passenger door. Now this, again, you want to, I'll try and get you a little closer here. There you go. Get this little pellet to go through that hole, and it goes all the way through, and it'll stop. Oops. There we go. Might be a little fiddly. You may want to try and spin around, or it may only go through the first hole, but not through the second one. It has to push down further. The cable will stop it from going all the way through. But you may have to do some wiggling and maneuvering. Try and show you a little closer here. Give it another try. You may have to push down with your thumb a little bit. And it's not right in the way it needs to be. The pellet just didn't go all the way through yet. I'll try and show you from the bottom here if I can. See, it needs to come all the way through there. Push with my thumb. Oh, there you go. She just finished through there. Then just pull on the cable. Whoa. And stretch it all the way. Cable goes through the hole, and then you should be able to just push this plastic white piece through there. Little fingers grab it, and it's in. It's not going to come out. Now, what else we have? We've got your switches that we need to put back in. We need the wires in there. So remember that green one is for your locks, I believe. No, for your windows. For the very back little vent windows that pop out. Yeah, it only goes one way. And it just takes a little bit of wiggling here to get it in. That's going to be the... She goes in, click. Clicks, it should be in. Now these, just string them through the hole there where your switches are going to sit and pull them through. And then once you have them pulled through, we can try and put this door panel back on. Remember that little edge? It's going to go on that edge of the rubber. You'd have to try and get your lock to go through the hole there too. Might have to grab it from underneath and center it. Make sure it's pulled up. Looks like it is. And then just slowly push. You don't have to push or lift it too high. It should sit in that groove. You probably have to get down on your knees and take a look and see where all the clips are going into the actual door itself. We see here there's one big finger that's going to kind of line it up a little bit, but this little white one in the bottom has to go right into that hole, the round hole. And that one might go in, but maybe the rest of them won't. This one seems to be going in. Oh, I got a couple that are acting up here a little bit. Those will want to move in right. Oop, and it all popped out. Sometimes you might have to move the door panel like to the left, let's say, or slide it to the right a little bit to get them to line up. Either way, I'm moving it a little bit towards the vehicle, just trying to get them to line up a little more. And once they line up, they should just snap in. If you give them a little bit of a bang, just making sure they're all in there. This one's got a couple of them that are being replaced. Might have to, if you break some of them, you could always go to an auto parts store. Maybe they have some. Bring a sample of what you need. Now we can get some of these fasteners. Trying to get this hole to line up a little bit. Again, moving the door panel left and right a little bit. And then I might have to push the panel in towards the door a little more. Also going to grab the wires here for the door panels, the power window switches. That's also your mirror switch. The little switches in the back. The switch that opens those little vent windows too, at the very back, if you have those. That should be good enough. Let it hang out here a little bit. So, this is the way it sits. The power mirrors, that faces towards the front of the van. And it might be easier to do that one first, the smaller one. It only fits in one way. If you try and put it in the wrong way, it can't fit. They've got little grooves. This one snaps in this way. Just push it in. It should snap. It should click. And then this one too. I'm going to have to bend the wire around just a little bit. Again, only goes in one way. And that should click in there. Good. Now we can just push the wires back in. Might have to physically move them back in. If not, slowly move your switches down. They should click in there. And we are done there. Now those two screws. Maybe we should do the door handle first. Maybe not. Let's do this one first. Where your grab handle is. This might take a little bit of skill to get it in there. Again, you might have to push the door panel closer, towards the door, just to get the hole to line up. And just snug it up. And then that plastic cover that goes on there, I think this one fits either way. Line it up with your fingers. And it pops on. It's nothing too hard to snap in there. It should just snap though. Done. Now the screw behind your release handle. Just going to pull the handle open a little bit, makes it a little easier access. Try and get it in there and then start threading the screw in. That's what these screwdrivers do come in handy. They're not very expensive. Get that snugged up. It's just going into like plastic pieces, so you don't want to make it too hard. And then this piece, this cover that hides it. The little tang on the left-hand side there. Looks like it faces the back of the van or closest to the handle. Take a little bit of coercing. Give it a snap, and that's done. Now we'll do this piece. There's two clips on top and the bottom. If you like this video, I've got more videos on this van. Put a link up just in a moment here. So you see which way this sits? Two clips. It only goes in one way, so you can't mess it up. Just line them up with the square holes and give it a little bit of a tap and it'll pop in. You can do the bottom first if you want. I'm just pushing it in lightly. There you go. Top right-hand corner, you'll see a flashing arrow pointing to a playlist of the Grand Caravan.